You know, someone said if truth is given a hearing, it will prevail. But it has to be given a hearing. There has to be talk.
I just love the story of how the pilgrims, when they came here, how they braved the unknown waters
Surely did.
because of what they wanted to do for their children, right? They loved their children so much that they braved the unknown waters. I just love how the beginning of this nation. I was not born in this country, but I love this country.
And you were
love
one of
what
the
it
best
stands
Americans I've ever
for.
known.
Right. And I think the more I know about history, as Miss Barbara Moore has shared, you know, I just love the story that you've shared with the pilgrims, Miss Barbara. They were doing it for their children.
Yes, they were.
Which brings us back to modern day. We are seeing the trend. Children are in a state of turmoil. They're stressed. They don't know what to do. And so you're bringing forth this idea, and the idea is really something that the Founding Fathers wanted all along. I mean, they formed education to make the children be able to compare what's in the Bible to what's going on in the world. And so here you come with this Champions for Christ, which is bringing it back to what worked back then. So if you don't mind.
Yes.
I just really love what y'all are trying to do, you and Rachel.
Well, you know, we know that Champions for Christ is a gift from God. And it's a tool that He's given us to be able to reach children and to be able to bring our community together in many ways. And so, you know, it's a tool for evangelism, of course. It's a tool for Christian growth. It's a tool for, one of the things that happens is we bring people from all different professions and occupations to speak to the children. And so, you know, who knows? But maybe that will inspire one of the young people there listening to be drawn to that profession, or, you know, so it's a tool it's being used for good for many, you know, not just the children, but the schools they attend, their teachers, their principal, their family, you know, and then the people that come together to help with this. They hear the speakers. It's, you know, how many times, Rachel, have we said, you know, I got a lot out of that. I got a lot out of that message as an adult.
Right.
Yeah.
90% of the time.
Yeah. I needed that.
Right.
I needed that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, it's just a blessing every way. And the incredible thing is, I love this. The incredible thing is that this tool can be put in the hands of others anywhere, you know, for going into, you know, any school, any place there's young people. The first speaker that we invited was our mayor. And actually, our mayor came several different times, and then our new mayor has come several different times since then. But one of the stories that is told is when he was a little boy, he'd never known his father, never seen his father, and his mother went out a lot and left he and his little brother by themselves, and so one time she left and she did not come home, and the little boys had been put in a closet, and so when they were found, they had to be hospitalized, and then after they were well, they were put in an orphanage, and were there for some time in the orphanage, and but he was adopted, and as a result of that, he went to a school where a teacher took particular care with him to make sure he knew how to read. She taught him to read, and he became a reader, and his whole life began to blossom as a result of knowing how to read and reading good, solid material, you know. And so anyway, he just became an incredible success the Lord just led him all the way and became an incredible success, and even as mayor.
Yeah, and I keep thinking back. I just saw the Hammer yesterday, which I keep thinking about.
We got to put him in the book too.
What he had said, yes,
please.
But he is a trainer in Dothan, and he owns his own business. And I saw him yesterday and introduced myself again because it'd been a while. But anyway, he brought dumbbells to Kids for Christ. I mean, he's this big, muscular man, and the kids loved it. But he brought the dumbbells, and what did he was talking about? The body that God's given you, and what did he say?
Well, he talked about,
taking care of your body.
And I think he talked about building strength in your body, but you got to build strength in your spirit too. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure he talked about prayer and reading the Bible to build your strength, and witnessing to others about Christ. And I'm sure,
Well, and he's come a couple of times, and one time he was talking about that road, the very narrow road that
leads to life.
Yeah.
And few there be that find it.
Right.
And the wide road leads to destruction, and many go thereof. Trainers, we've had trainers and coaches. We've had a lot of coaches come.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm curious, Miss Barbara. Rachael, how did you see some of the effects it had on the children?
Absolutely. And when you were talking about how the good thing about Kids for Christ, or one of the tools that it's a tool, or Champions for Christ, it's also a great anti-bullying tool.
Oh, wow.
Just about every speaker that we had encouraged the kids to be kind to others, and and when you're in these situations, what to do, the right thing to do, and what the Bible says about the way you should be doing things. They walked back into school with a smile on their face, and they were in a different, probably a different state of mind from before they walked in the door.
Well, and I think back to all the different speakers. One of the county commissioners came, and he talked about do today. This is what you've been given. Make the most of this day. Seize the moment. Work hard. Do good things.
Inspirational.
Absolutely inspirational. I mean, who wouldn't want their children to be inspired greatly? Right before they go to school. That I guarantee you, their day at school is going to be quite different. Quite different.
And the parents were involved. That was one of the great things about it too.
One of the things I said after we started this is that it was almost as if the parents were waiting for this to happen. They were so eager to help. They are so eager to help. And they love it. I remember looking around the room, and sometimes there would be 15, 16 parents staying there to help, but also just to listen, and it's been wonderful. And it would be that way anywhere that they had a Champions for Christ club, anywhere. And that's the policeman down the street, and that's a state trooper.
Yes.
And look, that's a county commissioner. Oh, that's my pediatrician, my internist. The judge.
It's not some story.
Judge. We had a lot of judges come.
Isn't that amazing? Too.
It's absolutely. And you know what? They're eager to come.
Oh, they love it.
It's not like, I don't want to. No, they're eager to come. Yes. They say yes. Everyone you ask. And it's not like Rachael and I know all these people before they come, know them personally. The moms and the dads and the grandmothers and other people that come, they say, well, have you thought about asking so-and-so? Before we were gifted with Champions for Christ, had you been in ministry very much?
Not at all.
Now, I know you help with Bible school or something, filling whatever, there. Okay, but let's say not much.
Right.
Did it take any special training or talent or preparation, really?
No, that first year we had a lot of things to figure out.
Yes, we did. We learned a lot, didn't we?
We did. But I will say, remember I used to, when I would get in front of all those kids, I almost fainted. I mean,
you did. One almost
had such a hard time to begin with, but or a couple of times that happened. But it
wasn't just
scary.
all the kids.
Yes,
it was all the adults too.
Right, imagine.
Right.
Yeah, Mayor
right.
and it was these wonderful speakers that we'd invited.
Right,
they were all going to be watching and listening. Yeah, I do remember that. I'm so glad you shared that.
Right. Well, but the point is, anyone can do it if I could do it.
Right. We have that how-to manual. Absolutely everything is in that manual, from the actual cheers that Rachael and her little cheerleaders that she gets from the audience to help her do them, from her cheers, even to, we teaching the Lord's Prayer, show them what Christy taught the children, one of our great moms that helps with the Lord's Prayer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody have your hands up and then bring them together.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And so that became a regular part. When you were talking about the speakers, one thing, and that's in the manual also, everything's in there. All you need to know, you can take that manual and you can just go with it and contact us. And if you can't get the manual, we'll help you. If you can get the manual, we'll help you. But we always encouraged our speakers to bring a visual. I remember my ophthalmologist, I invited him to come, and he was fantastic. He brought this huge eye chart, and he was teaching him about the wonder of the eye that God has created for us, and how we are fearfully and wonderfully made. But anyway, that visual was fantastic, and then he talked and gave scriptures about the eye seeing, and one of them at the end was, set no wicked thing before your eyes. That's from Proverbs. And just a beautiful, beautiful presentation, but a visual. Some of the you mentioned that the hammer brought weights,
right? And
then some of the trainers that have spoken. I remember that our big state trooper. Now he had his gun, but he also had the Bible. Wonderful, wonderful man that came and spoke to us.
The fireman, the fire chief, with his, he brought his helper who was in the full suit and spoke about each piece of equipment.
Each piece, and went along with Ephesians 6, the armor of God. That was beautiful.
That was great.
If I was a kid, I wouldn't want to miss each
They don't. They don't want to miss.
No, they don't want to miss.
They want to come every week, and they are sad when they don't get to come.
That's right.
Oh.
And for the past couple of years, there have been right at 100 coming every week before school. They have to get up extra early to come, and they do love it. They do love it. Now, one of the things that I love about it is that Lan, Rachel's husband, when we first started, he would go outside. He'd be all dressed for work in his shirt and tie and all that, but he would head out to the curb before the program started, and he would start helping the kids get out of the car. Well, Next week, wasn't just laying. It was another daddy.
Oh.
Okay, they're getting kids out the car.
Uh-huh.
Then there's another daddy. Then another daddy. And you have all these dads outside helping the kids, telling them good morning, and for Champions for Christ. And, you know, that's so important because we live in a culture where fatherhood is not, it's not honored. It is not honored. It is dishonored all the time in TV, movies, songs, all different ways. And to me, this presents a really beautiful picture for the children and their parents of these dads out here. They're part of Champions for Christ. This must be important, you know.